Hey, this is Matt Wall. I'm a location and site selection advisor with Sterling Properties Group based in Charlotte. Here we are again, coming back for another video in our series Site Selection A to Z. Man, we're almost at the end of the alphabet. Today's letter is X. So you're all probably wondering what in the heck starts with this letter. And if you can think of a word related to the real estate that literally starts with X, you deserve a trophy. But since it's my show and I make the rules, I'm going to cheat a little bit and just go with the word exchange, as in tax deferred exchange. Now, this term is not solely related to site selection, but anyone involved in commercial real estate is going to come across this concept in most commercial purchase and sale contracts. So for those who don't know, a tax deferred exchange, also called a 1031 like-kind exchange, is defined under Section 1031 of the IRS Code. And it's a strategy that allows an investor to defer paying their capital gains taxes on an investment property when it is sold, as long as another like-kind property is purchased with the profit gained by the sale of this first property. So someone who sells a property for a gain can defer taxes almost indefinitely by trading into a similar property with the proceeds from the original sale, as long as they follow a very prescribed process for doing so. So what's not to love about selling a property and not owing any taxes? Well, that's the catch. The good news is you won't owe any taxes. The catch is you have to reinvest the majority of the proceeds in another property. So you're not going to walk away from a sale with a sack full of money. Again, this is a tax deferral strategy, not a total tax avoidance strategy. And since I only have 3 minutes to cover the topic today, I'm going to leave you with a few important points to remember on tax deferred exchanges. And here are the three. Number one, if you're not familiar with this term, you should study it, because if you represent a seller, they may want to be aware of the strategy to defer capital gains until another time or another transaction. Number two, there are very strict guidelines your client must follow to accomplish this tax deferral. It probably makes sense to advise your client to discuss this with their CPAs and attorneys. And if they don't have those contacts in their own networks, make sure you have some advisors you can refer to them. And number three, when you're negotiating a purchase and sale contract, it's a good idea to have a provision that both parties to a sale will allow the other party to coordinate an exchange and agree to accommodate requests from the other side for that to take place as part of the closing. That might mean an extra form or signature or two to accommodate the other party on this, but it's really no big deal. This contract provision doesn't mean both parties have to do a tax deferred exchange themselves, but it gives you that option if it makes sense in your client's particular situation. And if one party or neither party end up needing to do an exchange, they don't have to. So here's your pro tip. I want to reiterate, 1031 tax deferred exchanges have very strict guidelines your client must follow to accomplish this strategy. They involve putting the proceeds of the sale of the property into specific type of escrow accounts and must be properly documented from the sale of the first property to the closing on the trade property. You need to work with what is called a qualified intermediary to handle all this. This is a person or persons that are trained to follow all the rules and regs of the IRS tax code, and they'll keep you in compliance. If you don't know anyone who does this, I again suggest that you call your favorite real estate CPA or attorney and ask them for assistance. As a broker, the important thing for you to remember is that your client will need more people than just you to pull this off. So get acquainted with these professionals so you can refer your clients to them, and you can stick to finding the next site or property your seller can find to trade their sales proceeds into. So that was X for exchange. I hope you enjoyed this topic and learned a thing or two. If you have any thoughts on this topic, please share them in the comment section. I always appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos, and if I can ever help with the site selection or location assignment, please reach out to me. Until next week, this is Matt Wall with Sterling Properties Group signing off.